Gear 5 is the ultimate transformation of Luffy in One Piece that has proven to be exceptionally overpowered. Luffy attained this transformation after being knocked into a near-death state by Kaido. His devil fruit ended up awakening, and he gained this all-white transformation which strengthens his body greatly, and also gives him more freedom as well as the ability to pull off impossible things as long as he can imagine them. It is quite clear that Gear 5 might be the strongest transformation in the entirety of One Piece. However, there are a few others that can certainly rival it to a degree. While the vast majority of these transformations cannot best Gear 5, they are still impressive enough to hold their own against Luffy, at least for a while. Big Mom's lifespan consumption transformation. Big Mom is one of the former 4 emperors of the sea and an exceptionally powerful pirate. In her life as a pirate, she had attained a bounty of 4.388 billion berries, which just goes to show that she was among the elites. Big Mom had several abilities up her sleeve, and one of them was the ability to grow tremendously in strength and size by consuming her own lifespan. She took this transformation on during her fight against Kid and Law, and went on to largely dominate this fight. This increased her strength as well as durability, and her endurance by a great degree. Even a barrage of powerful attacks that dealt internal damage could not put her down. In fact, Kid and Law were not able to knock her out at all. The best they could do was throw her off Onigashima, and Big Mom then signed her own downfall by accidentally making some incredibly powerful bombs land on herself. Bloodthirsty Drunk Kaido. Kaido has several powerful transformations in his locker, and while his standard hybrid form is powerful enough to rival Gear 5 on its own, he has even stronger forms under his belt. One of them is the bloodthirsty drunk state that he attains after entering his Shuron hack phase. By consuming a large amount of alcohol, it appears that Kaido can up his strength even more. He gains access to unique transformations that are quite similar to Devil Fruit Awakening themselves, and might even be classified as those. One specific transformation sees him gain a much bigger body and a more of an animalistic appearance, with a bigger nose, sharper teeth, and bigger arms, among other things. His physical attributes are boosted to a sky-high level when he takes this form, and his attacks become even more powerful than ever before. Kaido also takes a purple hue when he takes this transformation. Cane Daiko. Cane Daiko, also known as Flame Dragon Torch, is the strongest transformation that Kaido has under his belt. This form sees him transform into a massive dragon that can engulf an entire island with ease. This dragon is made out of incredibly hot flames resembling magma, and the tremendous heat that this dragon possesses is enough to vaporize an island by merely passing over it. Quite clearly, the strength that this dragon possesses is tremendous, and even a single hit from it would be lethal. Kaido used this transformation in his fight against Luffy at the very end. Unfortunately for him, Luffy knew how to damage his enemies without making contact with them. By using Ryu, he channeled the power of his Budrung gun from a distance and utterly demolished Kaido. Gorosei Devil Fruit Forms. The Gorosei are some of the mightiest figures in the world of One Piece. Until recently, fans believed them to be just figures who oversee the politics of the world. However, the Reverie arc changed their perception of these characters when it was revealed that these powerful beings are also fighters. They are termed warrior gods, which means that the level of strength that they possess is likely very high. Their devil fruits were also teased to the fans. While their actual fruits were not revealed, all of them seemed to possess Zoan-type devil fruits, as all of them took on unique transformations. Their fruits are most definitely extremely powerful, and these transformations would be strong enough to rival Gear 5. Imu's transformation. Imu is the sovereign of the entire world, and most definitely the ultimate villain in One Piece. Not much has been revealed about them, other than the fact that they are a relic from the Void Century and have been alive ever since then. At the same time, it was also revealed that they belonged to the Nerona family and, at one point, they were among the 20 kings who joined forces to oppose the ancient kingdom. Somehow, Imu ended up becoming the sovereign of the world. Currently, they are the de facto ruler of the world government, and a lot can be expected from this character towards the end of the story. Naturally, no character who finds themselves in this position is going to be weak. In the Reverie arc, fans got a look at the silhouette of their devil fruit power, and it certainly looks terrifying. The fact that even the Gorosei bow down to Imu only means that their power, especially when taking on the devil fruit transformation, is going to be immense. As such, they can certainly rival Gear 5 Luffy. And in other news, One Piece will Saint J. Garcia Saturn join the Egghead War. Prior to the Egghead arc in One Piece, the prospect of one of the 5 elders venturing beyond the sheltered confines of Mariehua was unheard of. The thought of celestial dragons of such high standing exposing themselves to danger was entirely unheard of. For a class of individuals who refused to even breathe the same air as an average citizen of the world in One Piece, Mariehua was the only place worthy of their presence. This all changed after the events of the Wano Country arc, where Luffy awakened the legendary Hito Hito no Mi, model Nika. In the process, he revealed himself to be Joy Boy's successor, and a major threat to the world government's authority. As the world order underwent a major reshuffle due to the disbandment of the 7 warlords system and the rise of the new 4 emperors, things that once seemed impossible are now nigh on inevitable. The conflict on Egghead Island is yet another example of this, with Luffy now fighting Admiral Kizaru to allow the Straw Hats to escape with Vegapunk and his satellites in tow. Alternatively, the presence of Saint J. Garcia Saturn is a menacing threat to the status quo, which could change at any moment. Why is Saint J. Garcia Saturn on Egghead? When York first contacted the 5 elders with claims of Vegapunk conducting research into the Void Century, the world government dispatched a cohort of CP5 agents dispatched to determine the veracity of her statements. Unfortunately, the ship carrying the agents did not return from their assignment, and neither did subsequent ones carrying CP7 and CP8 agents who traveled to Egghead to ascertain the situation there. This all but confirmed the 5 elders' suspicions that Vegapunk had betrayed them, even though York was the one responsible for the disappearances. Shortly after, York was also able to deliver a copy of the Mother Flame to the 5 elders, which they used to destroy the Lelusia Kingdom. In exchange for her cooperation in arresting Vegapunk, as well as her assistance in replicating the Mother Flame, York made a deal with the 5 elders that would have seen her become a celestial dragon, since their initial attempts at determining the state of affairs on Egghead had failed, and they had grown wary of Vegapunk's deception. The 5 elders sent CP0 agents Rob Lucci, Kaku, and Stussy to eliminate Vegapunk. However, the trio could do little to improve the situation, as the ill-timed arrival of the Straw Hat Pirates on Egghead Island made it difficult for them to attack Vegapunk directly, which was compounded by Stussy's betrayal. On seeing the chaos unfolding on the island of the future, Saint J. Garcia Saturn, the warrior god of science and defense, decided to accompany Admiral Kizaru to personally oversee Vegapunk's assassination and the retrieval of York. A tumultuous state of affairs. The conflict between the Marines, the Straw Hats, and CP0 heated up with the arrival of Admiral Kizaru, who had been secretly guided there by Rob Lucci. After easily defeating Sentomaru, Kizaru gained control of both the Pacifista and Seraphim, who were halting the Marines' assault on the island. This allowed the Marines to begin storming the island to block off the Straw Hat Pirates escaping with Vegapunk aboard the Thousand Sunny. Next, Lucci seriously injured Stussy and attempted to kill Vegapunk again, only to be stopped by Zoro. Simultaneously, Luffy was forced to face off against Kizaru, who had slipped through the island's laser defense system with his Pika Pika no Mi abilities. There is no telling how either of these matchups will pan out, especially since Kizaru and Lucci's main objective here is killing Vegapunk, whereas engaging with the Straw Hat Pirates is not a priority. Unraveling the Egghead incident. Considering the chain of authorization for the Pacifista and the Seraphim reverted to Kizaru once he defeated Sentomaru, there is always the chance that he might use them as distractions to create an opening to assassinate Vegapunk. That being said, the only one above him in the hierarchy besides Vegapunk is Saturn himself. At the moment, the chances of the Elder leaving his vessel to confront the pirates is slim, but it is growing more plausible as the chaos develops, as he must eliminate Vegapunk at all costs. Letting Vegapunk live with the knowledge he possesses about the Void Century is simply unacceptable to the 5 elders, which is why Saturn might just take matters into his own hands. It has also been stated that the Egghead incident will shake the world to its core, and the prospect of Luffy defeating an admiral, or at least escaping after fighting Kizaru to a stalemate, is not the most shocking thing that could happen on the island. The events in the throne room of Mariawa, which resulted in the death of Nefertari Cobra, have also shown that Saturn is capable of transforming into a bovine beast of sorts, hinting towards a mythical Zoan fruit, since it is known that he could probably conduct himself fairly well in a fight. A new, more interesting proposition emerges. If one of the 5 elders were to be defeated or captured by pirates, the newspapers would have exactly the kind of revolutionary headline that was prophesied. This would effectively deal an even greater blow to the already diminishing reputation of the world government, and set up the next phase of conflict, where Luffy goes up against each of the 5 elders before finally battling Imu. Additionally, the thought of Luffy using Gear 5 against one of the 5 elders is an interesting thought, as it has long been rumored that they have been in power since the Void Century. They may even have more knowledge about Joy Boy, the previous user of the Hito Hito no Mi model, Nika, which could prove vital to Luffy's own understanding of his powers. Unfortunately, the awakening of the mysterious Iron Giant is another unknown variable in this equation, and as things stand, it is also quite likely that it will provide the necessary distraction for the Straw Hats to flee Egghead and begin the next chapter of One Piece's final saga on Elbaf. On the other hand, at the moment, there is nothing that can be taken for granted in the Egghead arc, with new twists looming at every corner. That's a wrap for this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more amazing videos very soon.